Hey everyone, so in this lecture, I'm gonna show you how you can create new volume and attach it to the EC2 instance. Okay, so let's proceed further. Okay, so you can see on the screen, the EC2 instance is already running. So let me connect to the EC2 instance. I have already deployed a web application on it. Let's start the HTTP service and further we'll check the web application. So let me connect to the EC2 instance first. Okay, so it's connected. Let me check whether our uh, HTTP service is running or not. Okay, so you can see the HTTP service is inactive for now. So let's restart it. Service is started. As you can see, the service is in active mode. Now you can just simply copy the public IP address of this application of this EC2 server and go to the new tab and press enter. You can see one of the sample web application is running. So now what we are gonna do, we are gonna attach new EBS volume to this EC2 instance. For now, let me show you how many how many disks are there. So for that, you will have to enter a command. I have documented all of this. So it is lsblk. So as you can see, there is one disk attached to this one. Okay. Now we will create a new volume and we will attach it to the EC2 instance. So to create a new volume, you have to come to this volume section. You need to click on create volume, and I'll just minimize this one. You just save the cost for testing purpose. I'll also suggest you all to create minimum volume. So I'm not gonna create this volume from any kind of snapshot. This is just a fresh disk which will have nothing in it. Okay, it will be encrypted with AWS/EBS, that is the AWS managed key, and go down. You can simply click on create volume and it's gonna create a new volume for you. Let's wait for some time. Let me check whether it is in pending. Okay, it's already in available state. So now what you have to do, you have to just select your new volume. I'll just name it as a new disk. Now go to the action, click on attach volume, find your instances which is running now, and what is the device name. Since it's a Linux device, usually what you can do, you can attach xvda, but this /xvda, it is already attached to our EC2 instance, which is our root volume. So what you need to select is from SDF2 from SDP. Between these two, you can select. This is given in the AWS documentation. I'll attach the link to the description. So I'm gonna select /SDF. Now click on attach volume. So you can see here it says that the volume is successfully attached to your EC2 instance. Now let's jump to our EC2 instance and again use the same command. Now you can see you have new volume is attached, which is xvdf. Now you can see the partition is not created. This volume is not mounted. You can see this xvda, the root volume, it is mounted at the root location, which is slash. We need to also mount our new volume as our root volume is already mounted. So what you can do, you need to create any path at the root location. Let's see what is there in the root location. So in the root location, these many directories are there. Let's create a new directory at the root location. So you can simply mention, I'll put sudo mkdir. I'll just put /new disk. Okay, ls. Okay, so our new directory has been created here, which is named as new disk. Now let's mount our newly created disk on this new directory. So what commands you have to do? First of all, we need to test whether file system is already available or not on our volume. Okay, so if you want to mount any disk to your EC2 instances, there should be file system created on it. Otherwise, it will be simply blank. So let me just copy this command and put it here. Guys, I'm going to put all the commands in the description box. So when you see the output like this, it means the file system is not present. Now let me show you the root volume. You're gonna see how it is different from the root volume. So when you check the file system for the root volume, you can see this value. So once I'm gonna mount, once I'm gonna create a file system on our newly created disk, it's this also gonna change. Okay, so let's go ahead and mount the EC2 instance. So to mount the EC2 instance, what you have to do, you have to type a command mkfs -t xfs and finally your volume. So let me simply copy the command. You can come on this console and press enter. Now the file system has been created. Now I'll show you. I'll just run this command again and let's see. See, you can see the file system is created on our newly created disk. Now we have to mount this volume on our EC2 instance. Without mounting, you cannot you cannot add any data to your newly created volumes. So to mount it, what you have to do, you have to simply run this command mount. After that, you have to put your volume what you have created, and further you have to put your directory what we have created as new -disk. So just copy this command. I'll just copy the command and I'll just mention here new/disk. Okay, so our new volume has been mounted on this new/disk, the directory what we have created. So let's again run lsblk command, lsblk. Now you can see this was the root volume which was mounted on the root path, and this is our new volume which has been mounted on our newly created directory. Now let's move to this directory, cd space /new disk. Here you don't see any files, right? We can create any file here. Touch test. I'll create a touch test. Okay, it's a permission denied, so I'll put sudo. So finally we have created this test file in our new volume. Okay, I hope you have understood how you can create a new volume and attach it to the EC2 instance. Now let's do one more thing. When you will restart your EC2 instance, so this disk is gonna be mounted again. So again you will have to mount it. Okay, so let's check that one. I'm gonna restart this EC2 instance now. Reboot. So rebooting the server will unmount that disk automatically. Okay, so to achieve such things, to remove such issues from here, what we need to do when you are running your servers in a production, whenever your server gets rebooted, it should automatically mount your new disk on the server, right? So let's see. We are rebooting our server, and after that let's see what is happening. Okay, so let's try to connect it again. I hope it gets rebooted. Okay, so reboot is completed. Let's go to the root path and let's go into the newly created disk /new disk ls. So as you can see, there is no file. You remember we have created test file, but now we can't see that file. It means our disk has been demounted. Let's put a command lsblk. You can see the newly created disk, it is demounted. There is nothing you can see here. It should be /new-disk. So what you have to do so that automatically it gets mounted on your EC2 instance whenever you restart your server. Okay, so let's go back. Now what you can do is here, you have to add an entry at this particular file. Okay, so let me go to this file. Cat. So you can see one of the disk detail is already mounted here. This ID is this ID belongs to our root disk. How we will check that? So there is also command for that. You can use sudo space blk id for that. Now you can see this is our root device for which the ID is 33E2260F. So you can see the same ID is already present in this file. Now If you want your new disk to be automatically mounted whenever your EC2 instance gets created, you will have to add the UUID of your newly created disk, which is this one, at this file in a same way. Okay, so for that what we have to do, we have to simply vi sudo vi/etc/fstab enter. Here we're gonna put our details. So okay, let me first of all, let me reopen this. Okay, let me duplicate this one, and the command, this command I'm gonna put here. Now we have to add the UUID here. So this is the line also. So guys, this all commands, everything I'm gonna put in description box, so don't worry about it. Now we have to just simply replace this UUID. You just go here and copy this ID. This is also your new mounted path. It should be new disk. Come here and delete this ID. Press escape, save the file. So guys, like, you might be thinking, what is this UID? So this is a universal uniquely identifier. So this is just a unique ID provided to your provided to your volume. Okay, so once you have mounted that, once you have updated your fstab file with your new with your new disk, what you can do, let me check here. Okay, let me mount it again. So now to mount it, what you have to do, you have to just simply mention sudo mount -a. What it gonna do, it gonna look into the fstab file, and whatever the disks are present there, it gonna mount everything. Press enter. Now let's check. So you can see our newly created disk is also mounted. Okay, now let's jump to this location. You remember that we were not having the test file which we created. Now you should see this test file ls. As you can see, now you can see the test file which we have created. So this is how you actually create your new disk, and this is how you actually mount your new disk here. Okay,